Ladies and gentlemen, what if I told you that Lil Durk, the self-proclaimed voice of the trenches, has just been caught on camera doing something no one thought he was capable of? Begging, not for a record deal, not for street credibility, but for his life. That's right. According to a freshly leaked FBI prison surveillance video, Durk's name was allegedly sitting bold and underlined at the very top of a prison hit list. And when he found out, let's just say the tough talk stopped cold and the tears started flowing. Now tell me, how does a man go from rap charts to death charts overnight? How does someone with private jets, diamond chains, and a team of lawyers end up on his knees, whispering for mercy like a man who knew his time was up? And the wildest part? He wasn't supposed to be recorded. This wasn't some accidental footage. Nope. Word on the cell block is that someone wanted this out. Someone inside wanted the world to see Lil Durk at his lowest. And now that we've seen it, nothing will ever be the same. Because if Durk isn't safe in prison, who the hell is? Buckle up. This ain't your average celebrity scandal. Ladies and gentlemen, the streets are talking. The prison walls, they're screaming. And at the center of this thunderstorm is none other than Lil Durk, Chicago's own golden boy turned primetime headline. Because when that FBI video surfaced, everything changed. No more coded lyrics. No more vague threats. No more only the family bravado. What we saw was Durkio, broken, pleading, damn near praying, in a way that his fans, haters, and the entire hip-hop world asking, what the hell really went down behind those bars? Let's rewind this chaos and peel it back, one jaw-dropping layer at a time. It all started with sealed indictment, a list of high-profile rappers under surveillance, and a federal task force that's been quietly tapping into gang affiliations within the music industry for years. Lil Durk has long been suspected of dancing on the edge, from his alleged ties to the now infamous O Block, to his icy silence on the death of King Von. Whispers of his proximity to violence have never stopped. And the feds? Oh, they were listening, watching, collecting, plotting. But nobody expected it to come to this, according to insiders from an anonymous federal leak. Yeah, you heard that right. The kind of leak that makes careers or ends them. Durk was quietly transferred to a high-risk holding unit in early July. Why? Because his name allegedly appeared at the very top of a confidential prison hit list. A hit list composed not by the guards, but by other inmates. The same inmates who are in there for everything from murder to cartel trafficking. We're not talking about rookies. We're talking lifers with nothing to lose and a score to settle. Sources say the hit list was typed on a contraband phone, printed out using a smuggled Bluetooth printer, and hidden inside a hollowed-out legal binder. Sound like a Netflix plot? That's because this mess is wilder than fiction. And right there, top of the page, bold, highlighted, and circled twice in red ink, Lil Durk. What's worse, the leak claims the guards already knew. Yep, a whisper campaign had been swirling around the yard for weeks, with certain inmates mysteriously moved or accidentally left alone with others. And when word got out that Durk was incoming, well, let's just say celebrity status doesn't get you a free pass in prison. In fact, it puts a neon target right on your back. And here's where it gets insane. Surveillance footage, now conveniently leaked by a supposed rogue FBI employee, shows Lil Durk in a private holding room, pacing, sweating, and visibly shaking. The timestamp confirms it was recorded just 10 minutes after he was allegedly informed that a hit had been placed on his life. You don't need audio to understand the panic. You can see it in his eyes. The same man who once rapped about catching ops lacking was now holding his head in both hands, mouthing words like, "Don't let them do me like this." But it wasn't just the video that sent shockwaves. It was what came next. Multiple inmates, all doing serious time, somehow got access to social media, flooding burner Instagram and TikTok pages with cryptic messages. One clip showed a blurred face laughing into the camera with the caption, "He begged, just like we knew he would." Another account posted a poll. Which rapper y'all think gonna fold first? Durk or Ghana? The comment section? An absolute war zone. But perhaps the most chilling post came from a page that allegedly run by an inmate with direct ties to the hit list. The caption read, "Durk got 48 hours to buy his life back. Clock's ticking." Now you tell me, how do inmates even get this kind of access? Cell phones? Internet? Polls? Are we calling this a prison? Or is this just a high-security reality show? Either way, the stakes are lethal. But this scandal didn't fall from the sky. Let's not pretend this is the first time Lil Durk's name has been marinated in controversy. You remember the Atlanta shooting incident with King Von and Quando Rondo's crew? The surveillance, the speculation, the silence from Durk's camp? Fans called it loyalty. Critics called it damage control. And then there was that messy RICO rumor that never quite disappeared, buried, but never dead. Now this video, this hit list, this mess, it might be the smoking gun that makes all those conspiracy threads look like fact sheets. According to our fake but suspiciously specific report, the FBI has been quietly building a profile labeled Industry Embedded Threats, which lists rappers believed to be deeply entrenched in organized crime networks. Lil Durk allegedly sits in the top 5, just under a blurred-out name the documents only refer to as KF, which, if you know, you know. Meanwhile, Durk's legal team is panicking. Fake transcript of a prison call between Durk and his lawyer suggests he was ready to talk if it guarantees relocation. That right there, you can't just wave it off. Because if there's one word no rapper ever wants attached to their name, it's snitch. And that brings us to public. The reactions? Split straight down the middle. Some fans flooded Twitter with support. Protect Durk at all costs. Free the voice. He don't deserve this. Others, not so kind. That's what happens when you play gangster, until it gets real. King Von died for this dude, and now he cry in a cell? Durk folded faster than laundry day. Even Tekashi 6ix9ine, in true trolling fashion, chimed in on threads with a now-deleted post. Damn, y'all miss me yet? The internet is eating this up, but the real danger? That lies behind the bars. Because the FBI isn't just watching anymore. They're reportedly considering this breach as a full-blown internal threat, triggering a full lockdown of the unit and a no-visitor policy. They claim it's for Durk's safety. But sources say it's really because too many cameras were catching too much truth. And if this was just about prison politics, maybe Durk could wait it out. But what makes this a nightmare? The fact that somebody powerful wants him gone. This wasn't just some random prison beef. The way that list was organized, names ranked by priority, with estimated bounty amount beside them, shows that this is a damn business. And that bounty next to Durk's name? A cool $500,000. So who the hell paid $500,000 to have Lil Durk erased? Stick around, because the answer might involve a few familiar names, and a whole lot of secrets nobody was supposed to know. So who the hell paid $500,000 to have Lil Durk erased? That's the question that's keeping agents, fans, and even rival rappers up at night. Because let's get one thing straight. You don't drop $500,000 on a prison hit unless you've got something big to hide or someone big to silence. And in this case, that someone is allegedly Durkio, according to explosive leaks from a so-called informant tied to a federal protection program. Yes, the same kind of source who mysteriously disappears after talking. The bounty didn't come from inside the prison. No, it came from outside, from a burner account tied to an international shell company that allegedly funnels money into private prison contracts. Translation? Someone with serious pull. Possibly cartel connected. Possibly industry connected. But without a doubt, out for blood. And now the whispers have names. One name in particular? Lil Tim. Yep, the same Lil Tim who pulled the trigger that killed King Von. The man many believe Durk should have avenged, but never did. Word on the tier is that a few heavyweights from Von's circle never forgave Durk for staying silent. They viewed it as betrayal, a betrayal that needed to be punished, not in blogs, not in lyrics, but in blood. Now let's pause for a second and process that. Could Durk's own fallen brother's crew have put the price on his head? One ex-inmate turned whistleblower claims Durk was heard screaming, "It wasn't me. I didn't know," during a 3 a.m. lockdown. That outburst was caught by a body cam worn by a corrections officer and was allegedly flagged during a routine sweep. The report was filed and then, poof, vanished. You know what that sounds like? A cover-up, but it gets deeper. Anonymous Telegram messages, believed to come from inside the facility, show screenshots of internal prison communications. coded, but decipherable to the trained eye. One message said, "Bird landed, cage open, hunter watching." That was sent minutes before Durk was removed from general population and put in isolation. Coincidence? We think not. And while all this drama unfolded behind locked doors and concrete walls, the outside world caught wind. Fast. Social media was in shambles. Hashtags like hashtag pray for Durk, hashtag hit list leak, and hashtag Durk snitch trended simultaneously. Fans clashed. Bloggers speculated. Rap pages posted countdown clocks with a caption, "How long can Durk survive?" Even academics went live, saying, if this is true, it's the biggest rap setup since Biggie got lined in LA. But the most disturbing part? This story isn't just online anymore. Now it's landed in front of Congress. Yeah, you heard right. A group of outraged civil rights lawyers filed an emergency motion to investigate prison corruption after a confidential informant claimed that multiple artists have been listed on similar prison hit rosters, and that the lists are being traded like contraband inside the system. That's right, we're talking rap industry blacklist being sold inside prison. Allegedly, for every million streams a rapper gets, a price goes up. The more famous, the bigger the target. This isn't gang warfare anymore. It's celebrity hunting behind bars. And Durk? Well, he's at the top of the damn food chain. But you think the feds are trying to protect him out of kindness? Nah. There's something Durk knows, and they want it before he's silenced for good. According to the anonymous leak, there was a sealed recording seized from one of Durk's old penthouse security systems, a file labeled for ltruth.mp4. The file reportedly includes a private conversation between Durk and an unnamed high-ranking industry executive, where they discuss laundering money through fake touring companies and funding street beefs to boost album sales. Basically, orchestrating war for billboard placement. And let's just say, the FBI wants that file yesterday. The moment Durk entered that cell, they knew his life wasn't safe, not because of who he offended, but because of what he knows. And if he dies before that video surfaces, the truth dies with him. Meanwhile, the prison itself is turning into a war zone. After Durk was moved to isolation, guards discovered a stash of Shank's duct tape behind a maintenance vent just 3 feet from his old bunk. Not one, not two, 7 handmade weapons, wrapped in plastic and labeled with duct tape initials. One of them had a red D carved into the handle. This wasn't random. This was premeditated. They were ready to do him dirty in front of the cameras. And maybe that's exactly why the footage leaked. Some say a sympathetic guard snuck it out. Others say the FBI leaked it on purpose to build a narrative before something worse happens. Either way, the streets saw it, and they'll never unsee it. The most powerful shot from a video, Lil Durk on the edge of a bunk, whispering into his palms. No sound, just trembling hands and tears. A man known for commanding thousands, reduced to a whisper, his face barely lit by the flicker of surveillance light, looking around like he was already a ghost. And right outside that door, the same inmates who cheered his songs, now plotting his death. Back in the free world, artists are reacting too. Meek Mill tweeted, "This what happens when the wrong people get in the game." Young Thug's burner page liked a comment that read, "Now, Durk knows what pressure really feels like." An NBA young boy, yes, the longtime rival, posted a single emoji on IG stories. A black heart. Cold. But here's the thing. Nobody really knows where Durk stands now. Reports say he's gone radio silent. His legal team won't speak. His family has been pulled from social media. And the last update from his team? A cryptic message. Durk is safe. For now. For now? What does that even mean? Because in a world where cameras are everywhere, hit lists are leaked, and $500,000 bounties can vanish into crypto wallets, safety is just an illusion. One prison insider summed it up best. They built him up like a king. Now, they're watching him fall like a pawn. And if the rumors are true, that he's considering testifying, that he's willing to expose a machine, then you better believe someone's going to try to pull the plug before he ever gets the mic. Because once Durk talks, it's not just him that goes down. It's every name on that hidden file. And you better believe some of those names you've heard before, big ones, protected ones, which means if they can't shut him up with money, they might just do it with murder. Because let's be honest, ladies and gentlemen, at this level of the game, silence is more valuable than justice. And when a man like Lil Durk, who has rubbed shoulders with the biggest names in hip-hop, starts cracking under pressure, the entire pyramid starts shaking. So if he was planning to talk, someone had every reason to make sure that talk never happened. But here's the sinister twist. What if it's already too late? Rumors are swirling that a USB drive, allegedly containing the infamous 4L file, has already made it out. Not just that, but copies may have been duplicated and handed off to multiple high-level executives and attorneys as an insurance policy in case anything happened to Durk. Think about that for a second. If he goes down, he's taking the whole industry with him. Now let's talk about that drive. Sources say the footage includes a grainy audio clip from 2019, where Durk and a certain unnamed multi-platinum rapper, some say it's someone whose name rhymes with Rick Mall, are heard talking about using music videos to clean money, staging fake beefs to keep fan engagement high, and even sponsoring gun buys through local dealers to spark real-life feuds. It's messy, it's criminal, and it's the kind of content that takes down entire labels, not just artists. And guess who supposedly appears on that footage for 2 whole minutes? A man in a tailored suit, bald, smiling, holding a cigar. Y'all can connect the dots on that one. Now back to prison. With the heat rising on the outside, the inside is boiling over. After the leak, several prison guards were suspended. Quietly, of course, and the warden was forced to release a public statement denying any knowledge of external bounties or targeted threats toward Mr. Banks. That's Lil Durk's government name. By the way, in case anyone forgot, this ain't a movie. It's real, and real people are making dangerous moves. Meanwhile, inmates are being shuffled around like chess pieces. Entire tiers are being flipped, camera systems updated, and a mysterious set of files, labeled Operation Red Tape, has reportedly been pulled from archives and reactivated. You know what that means? The government doesn't want a murder. They want a clean cover-up. And that video of Durk begging, it wasn't supposed to leak. It wasn't part of the plan. In fact, some say it's the very reason everything's spiraling out of control. Because now the public sees what they were never meant to. A star stripped of his power, surrounded by enemies, trapped in a cell that even his millions couldn't buy him out of. The streets see it, the ops see it, and worst of all, his fans see it. Which brings us to Vaughn's mom. Yes, King Vaughn's mother, who's remained relatively silent since her son's tragic death, is reportedly fuming. According to close friends, she was shown the footage privately, and let's just say her reaction was anything but forgiving. She said, "What we all been thinking," a family friend told a local gossip reporter. If Vaughn was a lion, Durk was supposed to be the hunter, but instead, he became the rabbit. Ouch! But let's not pretend like this wasn't brewing for years. The tension between loyalty, fame, and self-preservation has always been part of Durk's career. For every chart topper, there's been a whisper. For every platinum plaque, a sealed document. And now, all those whispers have turned into shouts. And the fans? Oh! They've turned into full-time detectives. One popular TikTok account, @FreeDurkFiles, has nearly 4 million followers and has built an entire theory that Durk's hit list placement wasn't gang-related at all, but label revenge. They claim Durk was planning to leave his label, take his masters, and start an artist-owned distribution empire. The kind of move that gets you lawsuits, not death threats, unless someone powerful decides you've gone too far. They even pointed out that just weeks before the hit list leak, Durk was mysteriously cut from a festival lineup with no explanation. Coincidence? You decide. But here's where things take a sharp left. A leaked audio file, allegedly pulled from a jailhouse phone call, hit the dark web last night. The voice, matching Durk's tone and cadence, says just 7 words. They know, "Tell my daughter I'm sorry." Now that ain't rap lyrics. That's a man who knows he might not make it out. Immediately after the file hit forums, #Durk's Last Call started trending. And in a sick twist, some fans are already memorializing him like he's gone. Photoshopping angel wings, remixing his hits with funeral violins, even speculating who'd speak at his service. This ain't clout. This is panic disguised as prophecy. Meanwhile, the FBI is on damage control mode. Press conferences, denials, carefully worded statements like, "We are aware of the circulating material and are reviewing its authenticity." But let's be real, they're not denying the footage. They're just trying to outlast a firestorm. But it's not just about Durk anymore. Now there are whispers of other rappers being quietly moved to protective custody. Names like YFN Lucci, Casanova, even Tay-K are being thrown around. Word is the industry's entire back end, the part they don't let you see, is scrambling to protect its assets. Because if Durk really flips, he won't just take down a few people. He'll take down the entire structure. From A&RS to execs and producers who made a living off blood-soaked bars and real-life ops. They all stand to lose everything if this turns into a courtroom drama. And let's not forget the fans. Y'all keep these machines alive. The question is, are you ready to face the truth behind the music you love? Because this ain't just drill music. This is war disguised as entertainment. And Durk's story might be the first chapter in the book that finally gets opened. So what happens now? Is the hit still active? Is the file still out there? Is Lil Durk already gone, and we're just waiting for the obituary to hit Shade Room? We don't know. But one thing's for sure. When a man like Lil Durk ends up begging in silence on FBI footage, with his name circled on a hit list, that's not a glitch in the system. That is the system. And the scariest part? He's just the beginning. Now you tell me, how deep does this go? Who really wanted Durk gone? Was it the streets? The labels? Or was it somebody even bigger, sitting in a luxury office counting streams while signing silence orders? Drop your theories in the comments, because this rabbit hole might be deeper than any of us imagined. And don't get it twisted. This is not just about music anymore. This is about the business of death. If you believe Durk deserved protection, comment protect DURK. If you think he sold out his people, comment he folded. And if you think there's still more truth to be exposed, stay tuned, because the next video, we might just have that 4L Truth file in our hands. Smash that like button if this shook you. Hit subscribe so you don't miss the next leak. And remember, in this world, the truth doesn't set you free. It gets you silenced. Until next time, stay alert, stay loud, and keep questioning everything. Ladies and gentlemen, you just heard what the mainstream media won't dare broadcast. A leaked FBI video, a prison hit list, a $500,000 bounty, and a chart-topping rapper, Lil Durk, sitting at the center of it all, begging for his life like a man who knows his time is ticking. This ain't a music beef. This ain't a PR stunt. This is a real-life power play with bodies, secrets, and silence as a currency. Now it's your move. Was Durk just a pawn in a bigger game? A fall guy for the industry elites pulling strings from the shadows? Or did he really burn too many bridges in the streets, and now it's finally catching up to him? Was this karma or a carefully planned execution? Drop your take in the comments. Raw, unfiltered, right? He knew too much. If you think this was an inside job, comment protect DURK. If you believe the system is targeting him, and if you think the rabbit hole goes deeper than even we imagined, just type drop the file. We'll know what you mean. Don't forget to like this video if you want the real stories, not the watered-down headlines. Subscribe right now so you don't miss the next wave of leaks. Because trust me, this isn't over.